This may not mean a whole lot to some people, but it's a bit of a accomplishment for me. In all this jumble of wires and all this kind of stuff, I've got this rack of batteries. I've got those two batteries I built. I'm recharging some that I use for other things. But this is the inverter that I've been running off of pretty much since I've been able to do hardly anything down here. It puts out 3,000 watts. It is also the charge controller and the battery charger, and you know, it's kind of the all-in-one like we talked about. And it is running everything fine. The only time that I have to be careful about anything is if I try to do the electric kettle or the Instapot or a couple things like that, that, you know, if it can get close to 3,000 if not over, and I don't want that to be a problem. So I've got that big system that I've got hooked up. I just haven't ran. I've tested it 2 or 3 times, but I haven't been running off of it. And that's these two beasts that are almost 100 pounds each. Again, this is 3,000 watts of 120. This is 20,000, 10,000 watts each, giving me 110 and 240. And I just switched over. And the goal is, the reason I haven't done it really before this, enough solar production that I knew that I could run everything I need to, and those two, without running out of power, because those take almost 100 watts each. So just them being turned on is about 200 watts, even if nothing else is running. Well, since I upgraded those panels and stuff, I am generating more power than I need. So I am doing a trial run of running off of these instead. Now it is still turned on because it's acting as the charge controller. The solar panels are coming to this, and it is charging the batteries. But the AC coming out of this box, just this junky wire, comes up to the circuit panel, and it's this circuit breaker is how it injects the power onto the system. Normally you come in the top, you've got your main breaker on or off, and then it powers everything down below. I have had that off, disconnected, and had that one on, and that's what's been powering. And if you notice all these others, it's every other one, so they're all on the same leg. I don't have anything on the second leg. So I turned everything off, other than the batteries and this. Turned all the breakers off. Again, this is the one coming from that yellow box. Turned both of these on, and you have to have both of them on when it's configured for 240, because if either one of them's off, it shuts the whole thing down for safety. They can be configured the other way. I mean, if I knew I was never going to need 240, I could reconfigure this one, turn one of them off, and I'd have 10,000 instead of 3,000, and that would probably do me as good as I would ever need down here. But just in case, I've got both of them. I got 240. I've got all of that. So turn these on when they were both on, and they were good. I turned the main breaker on. Everything looked good. And then I started turning everything on except for the one that connects it to this. The goal eventually is, when I know that I am generating enough power to do everything that I need, or at least the minimum, and these all together, the solar that's coming into this box will go up to that box, and it can handle 2 strings of it, and I've already got it all wired up. Literally all I have to do is disconnect the solar panels, pull 2 wires out, run 2 wires up to that, turn it on, and then I'm all Victron on all this kind of stuff. I could leave that there as a backup, or I could take it out. I would like to be able to take it out eventually and clean up a whole lot of this wiring. I do have some trunking, some stuff that will hide the wires and make it look a whole lot better. But be able to simplify a lot of it, clean it all up, run off the bigger system. And what it also allows me to do, right now I do a little bit of both. Monitoring, it's dusty. But now with this on, this 311 watts or whatever, this is what's coming out of the Victron supplying other alternating current loads. I know that there's 450 something watts coming out of the batteries. The difference between what's coming out of the batteries, because the sun's almost down, and the AC loads is the DC loads. So that tells me how much is coming out on the DC side. Grid is disconnected because I'm not connected to the grid, but I could put that on a good inverter generator, and that would show me if I've got any power coming in that way. And then eventually when I've got the solar connected to that other one, I would know how to solar. And everything would be on this one display, rather than having it split through a couple of different things. And all that, this is the brains for that. So again, I'll be able to get everything mounted, and the wires ran a lot more neatly and safely. But it's just been a progression. Trying to get there. But I am happy that I've got these on. I've got enough battery power. I seem to have enough solar production. And I may be able to run off of these finally and not have to worry about any load that I put. I mean, I can run a shop off of this. And then as I start adding circuits, I'll be able to consolidate them starting at the top, going down, and balancing them out between the two legs. Anyway, it may mean nothing to anybody else, but I like it.